Welcome to FTx Academy. My name is Phil, and I will be your trainer for the day. Today we will be learning everything about the Reports module. Once you've entered the Control Center, you're going to select Point of Sale, and then Reports. On the left, we see a number of tabs. We have our Report Favorites, our List Reports, our Sales Reports, Smart Till Reports, Inventory Reports, Lottery Reports, and Scan Data. When we open up the Report Favorites, we will see a number of items here. You will also note that at the top of the page, every one of the tabs on the left will appear as well, and you can utilize those tabs as you wish. We have the option to apply filters. We can clear our filters. We can view deleted items. We can toggle through dates. And we can search IDs. This button allows us to print any of our reports in a number of formats. This dropdown will give us a list of how many items will appear on each page before we have to refresh and switch to the next page. Moving on, we're going to take a look at our list reports first. And here we will see a number of new options. We have the option to schedule a report, print export report, generate report, and cancel. We also have the ability to manage our favorites. Now let's take a look at this particular report here. This is the account code list report. This report gives us a list of all of our different count codes that are used on the system if we are using third-party accounting codes. We have a number of options here. We have our department codes, our vendor codes, our buy-down codes, discount codes, tax rate codes, tender codes, and location codes. We also have a code filter. We can look at all records or any accounts missing codes. Now on this one, we're going to go ahead and schedule this report. So if we click on this drop down, we see this option to schedule report or manage reports. So we're going to select schedule report. Pop-up is going to ask us, would we like to create a new report, update an existing report? In this case, we're going to create a new report. We have the option to give the report a name. We're going to call this department code list. The section is hard coded, can't really do anything with that. Our run frequency, we have the option to do daily, weekdays, weekly, monthly, daily today, bi-weekly, quarterly, or yearly. This particular report probably doesn't get updated all too often, so we're going to set this to quarterly. We can have it run on the first day or last day. We're going to leave that alone. And we can set our run time. Generally speaking, when we schedule reports, I like to stagger them versus leaving them all at the exact same time to avoid putting stress on the system. We have the option to include headers and print the title on every page if you wish. You have an export type of PDF, CSV, or Excel. Today we're going to leave this alone as PDF. Users is going to be your control center users. You can assign those users that you wish to receive the report. You can also assign email addresses to receive the report, one email address per line. You have the option to have a white background, yes or no. And we'll go ahead and hit schedule report. Oh, apparently we need to either enter an email address or a user ID. So let's go back and do that now. Let's select a user. And when we go back to schedule the report, this time you'll see it's been successful. Now that we've scheduled the report, let's go ahead and generate the report so we can see what this report actually looks like. Here we see our department numbers, our department names, and if we had any account information such as QuickBook accounts or anything of the sort, that information would display here alongside the departments. Our next report is going to be the barcode shelf label report. This report allows you to create shelf labels and barcodes for products that have no barcodes or have very tiny barcodes that don't pick up on the scanner well. And we have a couple of options here. We have our filter. We can filter by products, departments, category, manufacturer, tag, and vendor. We have three types here. We have the Avery 5160, Avery 5167 for barcodes, and we have 2x1 and 1.25 shelf tags. We can filter by nothing, print by invoice, or print by price changes. You'll also notice that we have a checkbox here that says print barcode. If we click on that, we also gain the option to keep UPCs and keep price. Now, once we generate this report, you'll see that we get a list here, in this case filtered by Anheuser-Busch, manufacturer, a list of all of our products. Now, if we wanted to make barcodes for these items, what we would do is we would go up here to print export, hit the drop down, export as PDF. And as you can see, we now have scannable barcodes with a price and a name for each item that was in my list. When you bring this report up, it is going to utilize the default printer settings for your PDF viewer that is associated with your Windows machine. It may appear in your browser, it may download to your download folder, and you might open it with a PDF viewer. And then once you have this in your hand, you can go ahead and print this up through a LaserJet printer or inkjet printer, and you can utilize these barcodes, either leave them on a sheet of paper, or if you use the format paper, they will come as stickers that you can peel off and apply to your products. Moving along, we have our buy down list report. This particular report is going to give us a list of all of our buy downs. We can either show active buy downs or deleted buy downs, or both. And we can utilize our custom filter here. If we utilize the custom filter, you see we have the manufacturers and the buy down groups. To use the filter, you would simply select your options that you want to take a look at, hit this button here to move them over to the list, and hit apply. We're not going to bother with the filter in this particular case, so we're going to move along here, and we're going to generate this report. As you can see, we now have a list of all of our buy downs. We have their name, the amount, the start date, the stop date, and the manufacturer name. This report, perhaps you want to add to your favorite list. To do so, we're going to click on this Manage Favorites button here, and we're going to click down here at the bottom where it says Save as New Favorite. We are going to call this one Buy Down List and save it. So now that we have this report saved to our favorites, we can access this report on our favorites page, which if we go back to the page we started at, you'll now see we have a favorite report. You might be asking yourself, what is the difference between a favorite report and a scheduled report? A scheduled report is going to run at a specific time that you set and be emailed or sent to your users. These are reports that you generally want to have on a regular basis. Favorite reports, on the other hand, are reports that you find yourself using more often than not, but you don't feel the need to get a report emailed to you all the time. Moving on to our next report, we're going to take a look at our commission items report. This report will show us all the items that we have on a commission. We do have our filter, show all or custom filter. And on this particular report, we have a new button. Over here, you'll see the selected stores button. If we click on that, you'll see that I've selected all the stores in my company to take a look at for these reports. You may not want to look at all the stores, you may only want to look at some. So in that case, you would select which individual stores you want to have show up in your list. We'll go ahead and apply that. And now when we go to generate our report, you'll see the different items that we have in our commission items. We have item name, UPC, and commission. Moving on to the next report, it's our department group list. In this particular report, you don't actually have any inputs whatsoever. This report strictly tells you all of your department groups. You'll see the different groups that we have currently set up in this environment, and you'll see the different departments, the number and name that make up each department group. Next up is our department list report. And on this report, same situation. There's no inputs whatsoever. This strictly gives you a list of all of your departments by number, name, group, whether the department is added to sales, and what POS flag is associated with the department.